Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.
Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and welcome to the EAC Show. Coming to you from sunny South Florida. I'm joined by Marcus Mack on the sound.
Yo.
And Joey Benetti, who's with us today as well.
How we doing?
Clarence Josie's on the video. Emilio Jr.'s in the building. Unfortunately, Cameron Didden is not with us, my UCF activist, overall sports enthusiast. He'll be here on Friday. He's still dealing with some family situation, and hopefully everything goes good for Cameron. Cameron, we miss you. But we got a great show today. List of topics for today's show. Marcus Mack, why don't you get into the list of topics for today's show?
I mean, we got a real short list, but a broad topic.
I mean, we always do EAC headlines, which the fans really, really liked.
Yeah.
But the EAC headlines are so covered in the coronavirus. Like,
yeah, that's a fact.
The coronavirus is literally taking over everything. We're going to speak a little bit about that as well. You know, we also got a little game that we're going to try to play where I need to come up with excuses because sports gets me from doing things around the house.
Of course.
Yeah.
So when my wife asks me to go clean out the garage, I tell her, babe, right after the game.
Blame it on sports.
Yeah.
But we can't do that no more.
But if they cancel games, I can't do that no more. So I need you guys to help me come up with excuses that I could go home, or I can give the audience the excuses that they could come up with.
But here's the thing, is your wife going to see the show?
That's okay.
Oh, God.
I've been married long enough. It's fine.
That's all right.
That's all right. See, because the issue is the games usually come on, right, at a certain time.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to say, all right, babe, I'll do it right after the game. But the game then supersedes her bedtime. So that helps me. But if they cancel games, what am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to
No.
say.
So that means I actually got to clean out the garage when you clean out the. That means I actually.
Takes a couple weeks.
Yeah, man, I don't want to do none of that, man.
Yeah,
Honestly,
see,
I don't want to do none of that.
We also going to be talking about XFL.
Yes, bread and butter. Week 6,
Yeah.
dates, times, channels as well. Even with the coronavirus, even affecting that, because one of those games have to be played with no fans. The game in Seattle for the Dragons, their home game has to play no fans.
Big outbreak. You were saying that.
Huge outbreak. Absolutely. So the number one topic is the coronavirus and how it's affecting sports. And Joey Benetti, I know you saw how many actual sports are being canceled or being played without fans. And can you tell us the list of those sports, please?
There's a lot. You got the NCAA basketball tournaments to be held without fans.
That's crazy. That's women and men. It just came down. Breaking news not too long ago that the women and men's NCAA tournaments will be held without fans. This is unprecedented. Yeah, March Madness time. This is nutty. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is not the time.
No,
not the time.
Biggest
not
time
at
for
all.
NCAA basketball.
Listen, I get that, we want to be safe. Everybody don't want this outbreak to come and stuff like that, and people getting sick, and therefore so far and so on. But I mean that just takes away from it, because sometimes the fans help the players on the court.
Yeah, it's motivation.
Yeah, motivation. They end up coming back, or they go on a run, or they're losing, and the fans get them back in the game. And you know what?
LeBron said straight up. He said, "Man, listen, I ain't never played with no fans in the seats."
I mean, but if you really think about it, and I understand what LeBron James is saying in that instance, and that's another part of the content that I was going to get into in a little bit, but the fans will be at home. So you're still catering to an audience. You understand? You're just not catering to an audience because there's a bigger picture involved. And I'm pretty sure LeBron is going to understand that once the NBA starts talking to him. But we'll save that for a little bit. So go to the next list. So we got the NCAA, and that's canceled. There'll be no fans.
No fans at Big 10 and Big 12 conference tournament games beginning tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. That's ASAP. They're not playing around.
Those
they don't
are big
want
conferences.
I mean,
Those are
there's
huge.
countries that any gathering that's of 1,000 people or more, it's done. It's a wrap. In France, in Italy.
I think that's where it's at the most, isn't it? In Italy.
Italy's the
right
country in Europe with the most infected coronaviruses or confirmed coronavirus cases. Yes.
Okay, that's the biggest case in Europe or around the world.
In Europe. Around the world is China, obviously. China.
China.
But here in the United States, the biggest case is Seattle, Washington. So that's why so many of those Seattle games. Who else are we going to talk about? Who else is canceling or
Warriors
no fans?
to play the Nets in Chase Arena without fans. No
Warriors
fans.
versus Nets. I don't really think there was going to be too many people to come out and watch the Warriors play the Nets anyway, but
Come on.
I mean, Steph Curry, he was sick. He's probably still sick. He's probably not going to play. There's no KD.
There
there's
is
no
another homer in the house.
You know what it is? They always sending shots at my Nets. At my Brooklyn Nets. They always sending shots.
No, that's not it, Marcus. It has nothing to do with it. But I like the Nets, but I like the Nets the way they are right now. I really don't like the Nets with KD and with Kyrie because the Nets are a team that was put together through grit and through excitement, and they earned what they did. Now you're putting Kyrie and you're putting KD on the team, and it's like now it's turning into a superstar team.
But that's evolution.
That's why the guy quit, in my opinion. I think the coach quit because of that. He didn't want to deal with that. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm out.
Kyrie's got to carry some ball.
So what's the next one?
You got the Mariners move games out of Seattle through end of March.
Yeah, so the Seattle Mariners are supposed to play 2 home game series. I think it was 3 games and 4 games, or 3 games and 3 games. I'm not 100% sure, but their first 2 series at home, they literally are postponing them or rescheduling to a later date because of the coronavirus. MLB is being affected by this. People are deciding whether or not it would be right to gather so many people and take the risk of literally infecting others, and they don't want to do that neither. So MLB is right now being affected. We got NCAA that's being affected by it. Big 10 and Big 12 said they're canceling games. Who else was on that list? Because it just came down not too long ago, so I didn't really look at it.
No fans at Blue Jackets game through Thursday and Saturday. I'm not sure.
So the Blue Jackets NHL.
Right on.
Joey Benetti.
Right on.
The Blue Jackets is NHL. So the NHL is taking a stance and saying that they're canceling no fans in the Blue Jackets game. I watched a little bit of the PSG versus Dortmund game, which is a Champions League soccer game that happened today. There was no fans in the crowd neither. None.
That's wild.
No fans whatsoever. Absolutely no fans. It's a different vibe. It feels like a training session. It really doesn't feel like a game atmosphere. You know, you get up for these games. You know, game winners. You hit a game winner and the crowd goes nuts. You score a late goal to send your team forward in a Champions League game. The crowd goes crazy. There's nobody there for you right now.
Do you see them as more focused, though? Do you see them as more attentive to the game?
I think that these players know that they're still getting paid to play a game. Child's game. They're all child's games. So they're still getting paid to play child's games. But I do know that the fans get the bigger picture. The bigger picture. It's kind of scary because just before we came on the show, it was confirmed that a Juventus defender in Serie A, which is the league in Italy that we talked about on the last show with Cameron, he came out and he tested positive for coronavirus. So he has the coronavirus. He's a player on the team. So now everybody on the team has to get tested as well. He's the first case of a professional athlete to test positive for the coronavirus.
And then here's the thing. This is something that I heard earlier. I don't know how true it is. Something I heard earlier that it takes like 14 days. I'm
hearing so much information. I don't know necessarily true.
So much.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know how many people are infected that are over a certain age. I'm hearing so many people are older, so people feel like, you know, younger people or people that don't have immune deficiencies. I'm not a medical expert.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that.
is it airborne? Is it you get it from contact? Like, what's?
I don't know. I'm okay with taking the necessary precautions. I know my son is ecstatic. He can't wait till hopefully the governor decides no more school. Or, they'll find out a way to make sure they still have to do school online or whatever.
I seen a video with a mother spraying down her child with Lysol coming from school, spraying it down.
A buddy of mine, before I came on the show, he texted me and said, "Man, he works at a gym." He said, "Man, this lady came in almost a hazmat suit to cancel her membership." I told the lady, "Ma'am, you could have just canceled your membership over the phone.
Over the phone.
Like, you didn't have to come in like this. Like, you actually scaring the people that's working out right now. Like, you know, like you really didn't have to do that." Was that all the subjects? Was that all the list of the game?
Was everything that we got for that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot going on right now.
No, I mean, our EAC headlines were literally just taken over by the coronavirus. The coronavirus is, and to this day, because I know this for a fact, there's still people that think that drinking Corona is how you get the Corona.
No, nothing beat. I was looking on social media on Instagram, and it was a cooler. I'm assuming at like a gas station, and it had the Corona bottles, and then every other different beer had a mask on, and I was like, you guys are taking this to the next level. Let me explain what's going on.
There's so many people that are happy that people think that their Coronas being the reason why you get the coronavirus, because they enjoy Corona, so now they can buy them and not worried about them being sold out or whatever it may be. I'm telling you right now, there's so many people enjoying it, but the coronavirus is really taking over sports.
Who makes Corona? Is Corona
it's Mexican.
Is it like an individual company?
It's Mexico.
Because you know how I think Louis Vuitton.
I think it's a company in Mexico.
Stuff like that. somebody got pissed off with that guy. Whoever that CEO is, somebody had to get pissed off.
Someone was upset. Yeah.
What goes up must come down. So if Corona's down, Corona's gonna go right back up eventually in time. You know,
skyrocket.
Also, the thing that I want to talk about a little bit is how I was saying earlier. I need to come up with excuses, and I need you guys to help me. And this is for the listeners out there that listen to us on the podcast and also watch on YouTube. What are we going to tell our significant others now if sports start getting canceled?
Listen, we're gonna have to start watching.
I need feedback, dude. Seriously,
you're gonna have to find a channel with rugby.
I'm not trying to do all these house chores all of a sudden. Like it's not happening.
We're going to meet the fellas and sing Kumbaya.
How? She gonna be like, I don't want you to go nowhere. She gonna be like, listen, you know what I'm saying?
Yoga nights with the fellas.
Yoga, yeah.
Yoga nights with the fellas.
Hot yoga with the fellas.
That's awesome.
Back in it. So I'm going for my second session at the gym.
Time round 2. Yes.
She'll be like, you already went to the gym. I'm like, nah, but we going again.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna work out again because we don't got really nothing else to do.
2. We gotta find those sports that not really everybody's watching, like rugby.
I mean, Joey,
I got the rugby game on.
You said it before the show. You said to your wife, you know, she bought out a ceiling fan.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna have to put up the ceiling fan because you can't use the game as an excuse.
I got no NBA. No fans, no NBA. Boy, I'm gonna have to put that fan up. I'm be real.
That's nutty. I'm at a loss. Like I really don't know what to say. Like normally, like I said, I watch the game. Everybody falls asleep. The TV sitting there asking me, "Are you awake?" You know, I wake up. I go upstairs and I go to sleep.
You can't even put Sports Center on. Sports Center's got all of it.
The next day, you know, I get the text message. Hey, did you fix the garage? Did you? Nah, babe, I didn't get a chance to. Like, you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, got caught up in the game.
I got caught up. And then it drags out. So if that's on Monday, I could get that at least until Thursday until I got to tackle the garage.
How about this? We put together a anti-coronavirus protest. You know what I'm saying? And we all get together. We get together 3 times a week.
3 times a week.
3 times a week, and we go out and we get.
Listen, we're just gonna have to record EAC 5 days a week for now. That's gonna keep us here for a little bit longer. You know,
as long as the gathering is not up to 1,000, we're straight, right? We're good over here, right? We're good over here. But no, I mean, also. Some people just get ridiculous with some of these stuff. They take it out of proportion. They take in baby wipes, Lysol wipes, hand sanitizer. Yo, not for nothing. I saw this today. It's a true story. I hope I'm not knocking this hustle. Yo, there's a guy that's selling homemade hand sanitizer.
Yeah, that's a fact. I seen the ingredients online.
Yes, he went down to Miami. He got a tub of rubbing alcohol, right? And then he got a tub of aloe. And he bought a whole bunch of little small hand sanitizer, like the little pumps. Hey. He bought a whole bunch of. He put a homemade sticker on it, and he's selling it out of the Quickie Mart. I'm like, you don't even know if that works. You gotta
respect the hustle.
All of those home stuff that you need: toilet paper, paper towel, hand sanitizer, alcohol, peroxide, all that stuff, is selling out.
Yeah,
everybody's buying it up.
Yeah, but my thing is, listen, toilet paper selling out. Everyone, it's a pandemic. They don't got washcloths at home? I'm sorry. That don't make no sense.
Listen to me. I saw Bryce Harper said it.
Moisture holds germs, though.
Bryce Harper said it best. He's an outfielder for the Philadelphia Phillies. Right. Bryce Harper said it best. Bryce Harper said, look, I'm still going to shake people's hands. I'm still going to sign autographs. It is what it is. If my time is time to come, it's time to come. It is what it is. Like, I'm not going to stop living my best life because of this.
Okay, I have a question, though. I don't know if we have any facts on this. But the people who are dying from this coronavirus, right? Mm-hmm. Is it like only elderly people?
Majority of them, yes. Majority is elderly. Yeah, so there was a list. I think the list out that they sent out in Florida was like there was only one lady who was 29 years old from Tampa, and she was traveling. So that's how she contracted it. But everybody on that list was like 50 and above. She was the only one under 30. Like she was 29 years old.
Yeah.
So I don't even have the math on that, but to me it looks like the people that are getting it are either elderly or they have immunity deficiency.
Yeah, things. Because there was I was looking at something else about it too, and it was a scientist talking about it. And he said that it's too early in the findings of the virus for them to know exactly what it is. I'm like, yo, what exactly is this thing? Like, what is it attacking? Is it supposed to be a flu? A sickness? Is it like you know how HIV or AIDS, it attacks your immune system?
You know
Listen,
what I'm saying?
all I know is whatever pharmaceutical company comes up with the vaccine to that virus is going to make a killing.
Well, here's my thing on it. Here's my take. You know, it's a pandemic.
You just said something.
Yeah, that's a big fact.
That's why we're all drinking Essentia water.
Yes.
Overachieving H2O.
Yeah.
That's exactly why on the EA show we're big overachievers of Essentia water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Essentia water.
So here's my thing. Big pandemic, coronavirus, right? Someone came back from China. Someone came from China to bring it over. No doctor was just like, oh, you got that coronavirus. That's been my biggest thing about it is like it just happened out of the blue, and now it's a pandemic.
really affecting sports though. Like look what we're going through.
You're taking thousands of fans away from
our network shows are basically turning into ABC News, NBC News.
You now have
they're
all
just
these channels.
Yeah, they're just reporting the same exact thing that every other channel is reporting, just basing it off sports.
And now we're having to do chores at home. It's ridiculous.
No, I can't, man. I
How
can't. I can only send my son and my daughter to do so much. Now I'm actually gonna have to do it now. Like I can't.
I'm telling you,
people are falling out, dying behind this damn virus, and all we talking about is now I got to do chores.
Exactly.
Oh man,
get a little.
But you know what? Not for nothing. In times like this, people do need some type of laughter. So I'm glad that we can be able to bring them that. You know what I mean? Because not everybody's affected, but everybody's taking the proper precautions.
Correct.
Everybody's taking the proper precautions. You rather be safe than sorry. You know, if it takes you an extra 10 minutes to get to wherever you got to get to, well, at least you got those 10 minutes to get there.
Absolutely.
So this part of the show is brought to you by ElCubanoSandwichShop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive discounts on online pickups or delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or a natural pre-workout shot of that Cuban coffee to start your day. The daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC. I was actually there this morning, and I had Ivan hook me up with an egg white omelet, and I needed a extra large cafe con leche for mommy because I was just dragging, man. Because when you go to the gym, man, it's just like the legs, they kill you, they destroy you.
You know the cold coffees that give you the energy a whole lot better though.
Man, I needed a big one, a big extra cafe con leche today. She took care. I was just dragging, honestly, because I plopped myself like a baby on that floor. I dropped a tissue on it and I had to throw myself on the floor to pick it up. Like it was bad, yo. Don't get out of shape. You people out there that's listening or watching on YouTube, don't get out of shape.
Yeah, you know, they say as you get older, you know what I'm saying, it's a whole lot harder to really jump back. You know what I'm saying? I know we gonna when I was 24, like 24, I was 240 pounds solid. Don't look at me like that.
You're
again.
still solid. I don't know about 240. I'm just saying.
Yo, listen.
But the truth, it's the truth, man. Like, don't get out of shape because it's so hard to get back into it.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to really push for it. The older you get, you really got to work for it, man. The worst thing you can probably do is break a bone or something.
So now we're going to get into our bread and butter. Marcus Mack. We've been talking about it for 5 weeks now. We're going on week 6.
Extra Fun League.
The Extra Fun League, the XFL, week 6, dates, times, and picks. Cameron actually sent Joey Benetti his picks, so Joey's going to read off Cameron's picks. So let me start off with game number 1. And game number 1 is on Saturday at 2 o'clock on ABC. And that's the Houston Roughnecks versus the New York Guardians. So Joey Benetti, give me Cam's picks on that game, and then I'll pick my pick on that game.
So for Cam's picks not being here, he has the Guardians +6. He said he hates to do it. I'm not really sure why because I didn't watch the last week's games, but he says New York defense is the difference maker.
All right, so we're going to go against Cameron on this game. I'm actually going to pick the Houston Roughnecks. I'm going to go with the Houston Roughnecks -6, even though the New York Guardians have been playing really good football with Luis Perez as their quarterback. Like I said, they really don't have a really big name after that. Their running back, Victor's good. Their defensive solid. I think just overall, they've just been playing really good football. They haven't had too many turnovers. They haven't turned the ball over that much, so they're not giving the opposite team that many chances. And you know what? I think that the New York Guardians have been playing better football, but I think Mr. XFL, PJ Walker, he's a baller. He's going to be in the NFL. The Seattle Seahawks had a scout there to watch him last game, and he didn't disappoint. Did he throw 2 interceptions? Yeah, but so does almost every other NFL quarterback in the league. But he balled out. He threw over for, I think, almost 300 and some change. Cam Phillips had a really good game, even though he had a slow game the week before. He was back to over 100 yards and a touch. So the Houston Roughnecks, I think, end up winning that game. They cover the 6 points. Cam and I agreed that I wouldn't wear the crown this week because I only went 2-2. But I'm still 9-3 in the last 2 weeks. And Cameron's, I don't even know his.
Yeah, because I think you had the crown for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I had the crown for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, because I was taking all of Cam's bets.
That's his problem. You see what you did?
I was taking all the Cam's
Really,
bets.
it's been killing
Cam,
it.
what was it? Cam had like a nice little 2-week run or 1 week run or something.
No,
like that?
he before that he was going, but then we started recording the weeks that he could with XFL.
Of course, yeah.
So he had to run for a while.
In the spotlight, he's not doing
and then.
That's it. It's over.
That's
Hit
it.
Emilio.
That's
The
it.
last
It's
2
over.
weeks he's been killing.
So that's the game that I'm going to cover. I'll cover that first game, and Cam will cover the second game. And the second game is going to be 5 o'clock on FS2, and it's the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Tampa Bay Vipers, and that game is in Tampa Bay. And what does Cameron have for that game, Joey Benetti?
Cameron has Battlehawks +3. He says that's the game to get back on track.
I don't know because the Battlehawks don't play the same on the road than they do at home. So I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay -3. Tampa Bay, their running attack is really good, even though one of their running backs got hurt. If Cornelius doesn't turn over the ball, they're playing at home. I think their home crowd will help them. I think the Tampa Bay Vipers will cover the -3.5. Jordan Tiamo did not look like himself in D.C. Shout out to D.C. with that beer snake. That beer snake was crazy. We posted that on social media. Even the commissioner of the XFL came and he added on to the beer snake.
They're doing that big.
They're
It's
doing
crazy.
that real big. It was
That snake
1,200
is nuts.
total cups to get the beer snake from the bottom of the first aisle or the first what is it called? The seating section, all the way to the top.
The biggest thing, like every time that they do that, it's like the hottest thing on Instagram.
Oh yeah, of
all
course.
social media.
Everybody
It's
starts
nuts.
talking about it because the XFL has done a good job of engaging them, so they're winning on social media,
Of
hands
course,
down. They're
yeah.
winnings on that. So in that game, like I said, I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Vipers, and Cameron is going to take the St. Louis Battlehawks. So then we're going to have Sunday's game. So the first game I'll cover will be at 4 o'clock. Excuse me. That's on FS1. It's the Dallas Renegades versus the DC Defenders or DC Pretenders, like Cameron would like to call them. I don't call them that. They haven't lost a home game at home, so I won't call them
He
that.
took that DC Pretenders back.
Yeah, he took it back
He
last.
took
Yeah,
it
he
back.
did
Well,
take
He
it back
had
on
to
Monday's
because he
show.
hasn't
Yeah,
been
no
picking all the
choice.
wins.
Yeah.
So
So
he had to stop talking about him.
who does Cam have in that game?
So he has the Defenders with -4, and he says both Tyree and Cardell. We're gonna see them. They're gonna show up.
I'm gonna have to agree with him because Dallas, with their backup quarterback, I forgot his first name, but his last name is Nelson. I don't think he could get it done. He's checked down Nelson. He's only checking the ball down. I don't think they have the weapons on offense to help out with the running game. Cameron Artis-Payne is good, but I just think they're going to shut him down as well. He'll probably get maybe less than 40 or 50 yards rushing, and they're going to put it in the quarterback's hand, and the quarterback's not going to be able to do enough. So I agree with him that if it's Cardell Jones, which I don't think it will be, I think it will be Tyree Jackson. And Tyree Jackson from the University of Buffalo will ball out. Will have a good game. The DC Defenders will win. They are pretty good at home. They haven't lost a home game. That crowd is ridiculous. I saw an interview with one of their players that said he wasn't sure whether the XFL was paying these fans, but that he's played in NFL games, and some of these fans at the DC Defenders games are nutty.
Listen, they're not showing statistics really anymore. I mean, the fans are there, and they're just not wanting to show it now.
The reason why the people don't want to show, the reason why some of these networks or some of these newspapers don't want to show the numbers is because the numbers are solid.
yeah, and that's
If the
what I'm
numbers
saying.
are bad, then they'll show it. But the numbers are solid. You get 1 million, 1.5 million viewers watching football when football is normally not on.
Of
That
course.
goes to show that the country loves football that much.
And that gives us that many more weeks of doing something, and then the coronavirus comes, and now we can't even watch football.
Well,
on
just speaking on
Saturdays.
that, getting into the coronavirus, this is the game that we're going to talk about, which is the LA Wildcats. That game is 7 p.m. on ESPN2 Sunday night. That's the game Cameron will cover. And that game is being played in Seattle. The LA Wildcats versus Seattle Dragons with no fans. There will be no fans in the stadium. They're playing at the Seattle Seahawks Stadium, which is CenturyLink Field, which is a huge venue, which literally Seattle fans support their teams. Their home games had 30,000 people at it. 30,000 people at an XFL game. And now there will be no one in the stands. So what is
That's
Cameron?
more than the Mariners.
Yeah.
Probably.
So what does Cameron have in that game?
So before I get to that, big shout out to Trey Williams. For you guys who aren't a sneaker fan, I'm a huge sneaker fan, as Emilio knows.
You and Marcus Mack.
Yes. And the cleats that he had on, those custom ones, man.
Listen, we could post them. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. Trey Williams Jordan 1s are going to be the first post on our EAC Kicks. EAC Kicks is an Instagram page we have. The name of the segment is going to be called Fresh Feet. It's going to feature Joey Benetti and Marcus Mack.
Fresh Feet.
They're going to actually come up with the content and everything. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring you what we feel are the best cleats or the best shoes that are transformed into cleats.
Yeah, the best crossovers.
The best crossovers in some way, shape, or form. And we're actually going to start that. And Trey Williams Jordan 1s are going to be our first post. First post 100%. On EAC Kicks, and that Fresh Feet segment will be coming soon.
Yeah, I'm really loving the custom. The
custom game is nuts right now.
Yes, the custom game is crazy.
MLB has got so many different things. I can't wait for this season because there's just so much going on.
Absolutely. And it fits because of the crossover. Because there's a lot of sneakers that they have where they're doing custom. I don't like it because it's not organic. But
that's what I was just about to get to. I want you guys to make sure that on that show and on that segment, that you guys express a no bueno segment, which means no good.
He really wants this
no bueno. I want to see no bueno. No bueno is literally going to be what you guys give your opinion on what shouldn't be touched as cleats. In my opinion, I think any pair of Yeezys should never be a cleat. Never should never be a cleat. Rough. Yeezy should literally stay in that lane. Like, stay over there. Like, you rocking, you doing your thing. I'm not hating. Hats off to you. You created something that
what they really gonna hate, because I want to do the upper feets too. Know what I mean? Like the Bushimis and all. I want to do real good feet.
As long as we don't see any Balenciagas, I'm good, because we just
wait. Let's get back to the XFL game, and then we'll go back. So just tell me Cam's pick on the XFL game, and we'll get back to Fresh Feets in a second.
Okay. So Cam want to get me started and stop me.
Cam's picks is he's got the Dragons +3. He said cold, rainy weekend. Winner will have more rushing yards.
I'm not going with him. I'm going against him. I think the LA Wildcats and Josh Johnson, who is the second best quarterback in the league, will 100% throw for more than 300 yards. He will find maybe 3 to 4 different receivers. Everybody will have fun. I don't know if Spruce or Carter hasn't played well since that game that he had where he did the backflip into the end zone, or the front flip into the end zone. If Spruce comes back, then without a question, then the Wildcats blow them out. But I think the Wildcats ender in it. What was it again? +3. What did he say?
It was +3. Yeah, Dragons.
+3 Dragons. So I think the Wildcats will cover the -3. So Cameron and I are split on that as well. Josh Johnson had a great game. Last game, the Tampa Bay Vipers were killing them at home, and then he just started to ball out. He threw for 4 touchdowns, found 4 different receivers, threw for over 300 yards. He's the second quarterback in the XFL to have over 1,000 yards on the season. So he's showing his NFL experience, and it's literally displaying good football. That's the thing that people that actually start watching the XFL are realizing, that this might be Division II football, but the quality of football is good football, which is extremely enjoyable. So we love it. We've loved it since day one.
I think the numbers of viewers are just going to go up, because they had what, 1.5 million.
They had 1.5, yeah. But the thing is that they don't even report the viewership anymore. You have to go look for it now. Like, we have to search for it online to find exactly where are these ratings, because before newspapers were putting it out there like, oh look. But now, because the numbers are still above a million, there's nothing to report on. A million people are watching a product that didn't even exist 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm telling you right now, if people started watching the EAC show from the beginning, and 5 weeks into doing this, all of a sudden we have 1 million views, they'd be talking about us.
Of course.
So you see how it's a role reversal thing? Because it's a product that they don't want to see succeed and it's having success, they want to bash it. But if it was us, every company would be coming to us left and right like, hey, how do we get a sponsorship on the EAC show? How do we do this? How do we? That's the difference. You know, they don't want to see it do good as to where we are enjoying the product.
And it's a good product. It's that like you were saying, it's that good filler. It's the extra few weeks of us not having to do chores. I'm just saying.
Just a little update right now. The Denver Nuggets are playing the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas, and it's 3-2. And there's plenty of fans in the stands right now in this game right here. I'm hoping this is the way it ends up. I mean, better safe than sorry, but I want to see basketball being played, and for the sake of me not being able to do chores around the house, without question. So let's continue the conversation a little bit about what we have going on too. We also have we're gonna do EAC bets, and what EAC bets is EAC bets is gonna be an Instagram page where you can literally post or send us your great plays, your bad plays, your long shots, your little $5 bet to win $27,000 because you took 10 underdogs or whatever it may be.
Yeah, we'll have our picks that we put up on that page. But we're also going to share, the
advice,
the
advice from other people as well, you know what I'm saying? Because in all actuality, we all enjoy games when we have a little bit of sazon or a little bit of adobo on the game, For all you guys that don't know, sazon and adobo is Spanish seasoning. So you got to have, or maybe if you Jamaican, you got
if
jerk
you're from
chicken,
the Caribbean, you put a little pepper sauce on that.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? You want some curry or whatever, you can put that on there too. It doesn't matter. You can have the red curry or you can have the yellow one. It doesn't matter. But it's just more enjoyable when you have some action on the game. You're more into it. You have more of a vibe to it, when you're betting on games and you're like, yo, I need this -3
because you're invested.
Exactly. You're invested financially, which everybody's like, you know what I mean? Like the guy that you met at the bar for the fight.
Right.
What was his name again? Edwin Mendez, I think.
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
But anyway, he shouted you out on social media and he said, listen, he shout out saying, he's like, Marcus Mack could have won $500. Why didn't you take that play, Marcus?
I don't gamble. Not like that.
You should have called me right then and there. I would have taken it for you.
You know what? He was very adamant about that fight too. Talking about the Romero fight.
So he wanted to bet Romero.
About that. Yeah.
And you wanted to bet Adesanya.
Yes.
And he wanted to give you $500 straight.
He lost it to another guy. The funny thing is, I went to the bathroom and the guy we was talking about the Ling fight. You know what I'm talking about? The female fight, the strawweight.
Oh, okay. So we was
talking about that fight.
Let me get this because I really enjoy doing this. Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Weili Zhang. I'm telling you, I practice these. I'm telling you. Listen, my man Joseph is going to be proud of me with those names because I practice those names all week.
Yeah.
All week.
He says it so good now even I say it. Very well. So we was in the bathroom talking about the Joanna Jędrzejczyk fight. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yo, who you got for the middleweight fight?
That's content for EAC bets, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah, so I said, man, I like Adesanya because of the type of fighter he is. I don't even think pound for pound, because he was under the impression that Romero was heavier than him. I said, listen, they're at the same weight, the exact same weight. If I'm saying he has better reach.
So why didn't you take it? I'm
not.
You bet Cam push-ups. Oh, by the way, for all you guys that saw it on social media, Cam couldn't get past 20 push-ups, and there's uncut footage that we're just dying laughing on that.
Yeah, like, his knees buckled. Because I bet him 100 push-ups. He's like, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I could bust out 100 right now.
I'm very proud of you. The other day I had the over-under on 27. I didn't think you were going to pull off 27.
Listen, I do this, man. It all started in 1987. I make this look good, man. But listen, anyway, so
that Sprite 240 you were talking about, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I really look good, bro. I'm gorgeous. You don't understand. So, anyways,
a face a mother would love.
Marcus Mack, Mack, Daddy. I don't even play with him. So listen. So we talking about the fight, and I'm telling him the reasons why I wanted Adesanya. So as we walking out, he's walking in. And the guy looks at me like, oh my god. He bet this guy, and he's so mad because he's like, yo, if this guy wins, he doesn't even care about the money. He just cares about the fact that how much trash he talks.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And I think that more than anything, I didn't want to be bothered. You ever been in a bar and a guy just keeps hitting you? And if he listens, yo, shout out to you, man. I got nothing but love for you. But I told him, I said, yo, bro, please stop touching me so much. Bro, like, you keep touching me, beloved. Please stop. But, he was a really cool guy.
That's a social thing. That's just like a comfort thing. He's comfortable with you.
Yeah, he was very comfortable.
Now you got to tell him, can you put on gloves before you touch me? Because, like...
Yeah, with the coronavirus. Yeah. So, I told him what I do about the EAC Show. I'm head of production.
Tell them your exact title. I want everybody to...
Head of production. My name is Marcus Mack, head of production for the EAC Show.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. And EAC Productions, Show International. branding group and all that stuff. Okay, so boom, yeah. So yeah, that's how that played out.
So
I
you
think
didn't
that's
say
why
you
I
didn't
didn't
go-
bet.
and
You should have called me.
$500.
It would have been an easy $500. You should have called.
You forgot you was sleeping.
I would have woke up for that. $500. $500. I
I
would
would
have
have
woke up
smelled
for
his
that.
phone ring and
Oh,
been like, "Yep."
Yeah, because he seen
take
me.
it right
He
now.
seen me doing the video for it, saying, I was watching it, whatever. He's like, "Yo, man, what do you do?" So I showed him the EAC show. He said, "Yeah, man,
You know what I was
followed it right there on the scene."
You know what I was so pissed about? I found out that we could have used the correspondent for that Wilder Fury fight because we actually had somebody out there, and I told him, I was like, "Yo, so you mean to tell me you were out there for the fight and you would have reported for us from the fight for EAC?" He was like, "Absolutely." I got so pissed. I got so pissed.
Well, you know what? All of those pay-per-view fights, there's a cool spot that we could go. We ain't gonna talk about that right now.
And I can't
You know what I'm
wait.
saying?
I can't wait till Wilder vs Fury, which is gonna end up happening in July
Is it
in
confirmed?
Las Vegas. Yeah, it's confirmed.
Wilder
It's confirmed.
Fury.
Okay, yeah, we need
Wilder
that.
Fury 3.
Three.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah. He
Wow.
needs that.
Can we get through? But can we get through Khabib's fight first?
Listen,
I want that fight more than
I'm
anything.
going to study his last name for a month. I have so much trouble saying that man's last name. And I take pride in saying their names because we are a sports show
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we're covering these athletes.
It's
Khabib's
long. It's
last
hard.
name is ridiculous. Megamedov. I'm not even trying right now, but I'm gonna take my time and try that last name. Well, this part of the show is going to be brought to you by ElCubanoSandwichShop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive online discounts on delivery orders or pickups. Enjoy a cafe con leche or a shot of Cuban coffee to start your day. The daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Use the promo code EAC. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC. So yeah, we definitely got to talk about the rematch between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury that's going to happen in July at MGM Grand Las Vegas. That's official. It's done. It's a wrap. It's locked in. So Wilder's going to get a chance to redeem himself. I don't necessarily think that.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen neither. Because
Tyson Fury has hands of gold. Right
yeah, because
now.
the bigger fight is going to be Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury somewhere either in the UK, Vegas, or Saudi Arabia. And then April 18th at the Barclays in Marcus Mack's hometown, Brooklyn, New York. We're going to have UFC 249. The headliners is going to be Mr. Champion, Mr. I Fight a Bunch of Bears, Mr. I'm Russian Royalty, Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. That's going to be a good fight.
Did you see when they put the belts up next to each other and Khabib kicked it?
Yeah, he kicked
disrespect.
Tony.
I mean, I get it. You put your belt down. You won that belt, and then I mean, rightfully so. But still, like, kick the belt right off.
I can't go against the guy that fights bears.
Yeah, Okay, so here's the thing. Tony Ferguson.
I'm sorry.
No,
who
you're
wakes
right.
up in the morning and tells their child to fight a bear? Like,
I believe me. You ain't catching me fighting a bear. But
could you imagine EJ go fight a bear?
all right.
Yeah.
To be fair, the bear had a muzzle on for the first year, but then after that was a wrap.
It's a bear.
No, I get it. It's a bear. That's a
Bears.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, bears knock down trees, bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, Khabib knocked down McGregor pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying?
Who you got?
Tony Ferguson. I really
Who
do.
you got?
Ferguson.
Khabib. I'm going with Khabib. I'm not changing my stance. I don't care what the weigh-in shows. I'm not getting. I don't. Listen. Unless Khabib is fighting a bear, I'm not going against him.
Tony Ferguson's got a crazy fighting style. He just has that. Works around everything he can get in. Where a lot of people can't get in on Khabib, I think Tony Ferguson's going to get in.
Listen, UFC people or experts are going to listen to this show and they're going to be like, all he keeps saying is Khabib fights a bear. Because that's all I'm going to keep repeating. I don't need to. I'm going to wear a T-shirt that said Khabib fought a bear.
And you
That's
know
it.
what? You know what shirt they're gonna make? Ferguson beat the guy who beat the bear.
You're gonna have memes everywhere of him fighting Khabib and a bear, and then they're never gonna see the end of it.
I got a picture in my head of Marcus Mack reporting live from the Barclays, outside the Barclays.
Now listen, I'm gonna have half of the spot doing push-ups.
Reporting from outside half the
We going to
Barclays.
Barclays?
As a matter of fact, I mean,
Well, no, actually,
I mean-
if this coronavirus still exists, we probably don't want Marcus going to New York right now.
Yeah,
we don't. We
have shows too.
We don't
Yeah.
want Marcus Mack going
Yeah.
to New York right now.
I
But
don't,
guys,
I don't even think my lady I have it.
this is gonna conclude episode 14. We're gonna check us out on episode 15. Please subscribe, like, and comment on YouTube and on all podcast platforms. We appreciate all the love and support on IG, Twitter, and all that. Joey Bonetti, I appreciate you. Marcus Mack, appreciate you.
So wait, hold on. We just gonna close the show and we're not gonna talk about what I'm betting for no more. I'm betting for 2 things: push-ups and Beyonce.
Okay, push-ups and Beyonce.
Push-ups and Beyonce.
So we got that clear. So Marcus Mack, I appreciate you. Clarence Josie, I appreciate you. Emilio Jr., I love you. Cam will be here with us on Friday. And once
Shout outs
again,
to
see you
Cam.
on episode 15, guys.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC show.